Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'll be going over my second round game from the National Ghost Center online fall tournament. As I said in the last game, I lost my first round in kind of honestly in a pathetic fashion. And so I'm 0-1, so I got paired against a Fordon who I think won their first game, so that's why we got paired. In a stark contrast to the last game, I don't know if I just was riled up because of how I played, or it was just kind of the spur of the moment. Total 180 on style in this game. It's compared to last game, which is, if you kind of view it as kind of a snoozer, kind of boring, this game has all the fighting you could ever ask for. So yeah, let's take a look at it. So once again, I'm white, and then approach, and already just bam, I remembered what Sente was again. Yeah, you don't have to ignore when they approach. Just going here is, of course, okay. Just want to kind of get the unfinished corner there, the 3-4. So that's why I played there. Backs off, and then played there. Once again, if he's not directly threatening me, again, while this move is, trying to come in, as long as the corner's open and I have access into the center, it's not Sente. So now I come back and play there. And they attach, and so here you have two choices as white. You can connect here or come down. In the game I came down because I really want to play M3. M3 is the weakness of this knight's move in the corner. Again, is it going to kill that black 2 stones? No. All it's doing is it's putting pressure on. And let's say black does what white wants. Something. Just give white Sente somehow. Just be very generous to white. White getting this move, very good. It's a nice extension along the bottom from my wall there, and it again puts pressure on the corner. So that's what I was looking for. Black cuts though, and it does complicate things a little bit more, but I'm still aiming at that spot. Atari, push up, jump, and then just jump, extend. It looks like white's able to play this Teisuji, right? The Teisuji of playing the bamboo joint. But when black connects, these 2 stones are losing their liberty, so the squeeze doesn't quite work, because when black goes here, white is in a lot of trouble. White's in Atari, and black's gonna get more liberties. So instead, white just jumps out, and so then black's able to fix their shape, and then I get the move I wanted. Black has a nice answer though, just kind of. That bottom's still open, so peeping, see how white answers. I come up once. As long as black's peeping, black's going to answer this. While in most cases, because these are cutting stones, later, black might not answer this. Right? Just who knows what black would do. So that's why just getting this now, while I know black is going to answer, because he's trying to peep me. So I play now, then he extends. So then I'm just, okay, you're not helping your center group, so I'll just keep pressuring the center group. And once again, not helping a center group, so I'm going to continue putting pressure on. After I play some ASCII moves. So this attachment in the corner is generally always a good move to get as white. It's very hard for black to ignore, and you're going to get Sente. So I cut directly. This is just an ASCII move. Again, I kind of treated the right side lightly when I ignored this initial R11 move. So I'm just trying to see how black's going to answer. There's many ways black can answer here. In the game, black played this one, but also black can think about playing this one in some cases. But regardless, all I'm doing is I'm creating Aji. So now I play the shape point. He answers, and then I jump out. Hane, extend. Now I do want to point out there are some cuts here for white, but nothing actually works for black, surprisingly. If black cuts directly here, again, this ladder doesn't work, right? But white can play this move, which is basically forcing. Black cuts, now the ladder works. But black can also look kind of in, kind of using the 2 cuts. Black can also cut here now. The idea being, if white simply tries to net, which works, because of the Aji black created, black would be able to extend now because it's an Atari. And then save the cutting stones. Excuse me. So this would be bad for white. But white has a very nice Teisuji here. White can Atari, and if you just keep Ataring, nothing's going to work. Right? They're just connected. But white has a very nice Teisuji here. Is how do you break the dog face, right? We have a dog face shape here. How do you break the dog face? It's by playing right there. And this move captures black. If black connects, white descends, and black only has 2 liberties, so black cannot gain any more liberties. If black tries to push through, like this, once again, when black Ataris, or when white cuts, it's an Atari, and white has enough liberties. So you can see white's position just holds miraculously. So even though black did somewhat surround this bottom stone here, having the stone here at M3, you can see does help white. So even though for now black captured it, it still is a helpful stone. So that means black couldn't cut, so he just Hane. You do want to think about cutting first. You always want to think about what kind of move gives me the most. So of course, Haning and letting white extend here is very good shape. So maybe black would want to do it, but since the cut doesn't work, that's kind of what black has to settle for. So black has a very good shape, but you can see white's been on the left side and has Sente. So I play towards the top, and then black comes in. Here, I think I should just give up the corner. Let's give up the corner. Let black take the corner. It's not that big. It's really not that big. And the left side is very, very big. This last move isn't necessary, but just to show you how big of a side that is for white. Going here, it is a variation that is playable, but you can see after this, black pincers, and now white's side is in shambles. White's even under attack. And I play a move that, of course, looks like a very, very simple move, right? Like, oh, just peep at the shape. If black connects, I'm able to make a base. But this was a good chance for black to kind of take charge on the left side. Because if black connects, white can connect under like this, and this is what happens in the game. And you can see black loses his base while I make my base. So it's a big swing that way. So instead, black should ask, okay, these 3 stones are completely surrounded, so they don't have that much aji. So how important are these 2 stones? Probably not that important. So instead, black should play this bump. The point of this bump is, if white cuts, sure, white's getting those 2 stones, but black's able to take the entire left side, like this. And again, once black captures these black stones that, aren't going to die, but aren't completely alive, are not completely settled because black has captured the left side. If white has to answer, though, now when black connects, black is completely alive now. Now white cannot connect under. So playing this bump was definitely something I only saw in review. So I have to, and this goes to for everyone as well, you can't think linearly. You can't play a peep and expect your opponent is going to respond. Your opponent shouldn't be playing the way you want them to. So, of course, I wanted black to connect, and then, so I can make my base like this. So I should ask myself, what if black doesn't do that? So just a little more discipline needed. There's a little more discipline needed. Black did connect though, so I get my base, and he's starting to cut me, but you can see his shape is very wishy-washy. Peep, connect, and then jump. Of course, I keep him disconnected. Yeah, I think at this point I could just cut like this. Because he can't connect, of course, because he gets captured. If he plays this one, this is now threatening to connect my stones. So even if he's able to connect back, he can't even connect back in Sente, but let's just give him Sente. Something like this. He hasn't made any points. He solidified my left side, and I take Sente again, right? So that sounds pretty good. There is still Aji, and he's actually not alive yet. I can later poke at his shape. So I should just cut while I can. Yeah, because him connecting, you can see that left side doesn't have any eyes, so it's just Dame. Yes, no reason to not cut while I had the chance. Again, at the time, this seems like the obvious move, just cut. But when he plays here, he's starting to make 2 eyes. Yeah, and same with this push. I should just block. I didn't realize him blocking here like this. You can see white shape starts to disintegrate because black's already alive here, right? So if white, plays something like this, and then it's like, oh, I can capture here. Now that this moves an Atari, you can see black can connect back either way. So what happens is I fix my shape, and I honestly didn't know the best way to fix, but I chose this one. But now black's completely alive on the left, and now I have this string of stones in the center that aren't alive either. So I had a chance to just connect, and I should have just connected. I jump, he extends, then I play this one. Point of this move is where are these stones trying to run? Of course, they're trying to run to this black stone here. That's his closest ally. So attack from afar. Not that black's going to play this way, but if black ends up playing in this direction, you can see now these stones are cutting off black. So I think this move's a little premature because in one move, can black connect there? No. There's no way for him to connect, 5 spaces in the center. So I really need this move. I really need to help that top group, or I guess that center group. This move is kind of the spot where both players want to play, right? If black gets that spot, you can see how much it helps black's shape while hurting white's shape. So this was a imperative. You got to go here, help your group while hurting his group. So I missed that spot. You definitely need to play that first. Because after this, sure, I got what I wanted here, but black gets that move. And I cut again. The point of attacking is not to kill. It's for profit. So I figured, okay, since black ignored, my profit is the right side. And this cut is very big. One thing to mention, though, is I am leaving that upper side group, so I should just fix here. My idea was I didn't see a move he could play to surround me in one move. That was my thinking. But you gotta help your weak groups. Like, come on. Gotta help your weak groups. There's this move. And this move I didn't see in the game, and I think it's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Yeah, I was only thinking of moves like this, and it's like, oh, I can still run out. Oops. Only thinking of moves like this, but it's like, oh, I can still run out, so I'm safe. But of course, this move, threatening to cover and is peeping. So this move, it gets complicated. I won't, because it's kind of minutia, I won't show what could happen. But white, it's difficult reading for both sides, to be fair. But this move is very dangerous for white, which shows even more how valuable getting this move here was. Just settling the center stones like this. Or at least not even settling, just helping them. So he peeped. He probably was thinking the same thing. He's trying to kind of prepare to surround. So he's kind of doing what I'm doing here. Where are my closest allies? Or where's black's closest allies? Right here. So I'm going to play against that. He's doing the same thing here. He's attacking from afar. So he peeps. But that's not directly sente, so I just jump. And then he connects, push. He can Atari once. And then Atari, Hane. Play these moves. Attack my shape. Hane. And this is all forcing. This is just fighting. White's trying to stay ahead. Black's making points while attacking. And then I played this one. So usually you want to just play this move. It's very safe, good shape, but it would allow black a lot more leniency in kind of making some good shape in the center. So while for now it is protecting, it's really looking at black's shape there. And then black played this, and this is really the turning point because this is basically saying, okay, white, cut me, I dare you. Because black had many other moves here. Because one, keep in mind, black has an eye here in the center no matter what. I don't even think there's a way for white to take it out. But even if there was, going here, maybe even this one's better, sorry. Going here, gets black an eye there, starting to make another eye. So black's very, has very good shape here. But going here, I push and cut. Now what we see is white actually sacrifices a lot, but gains a lot elsewhere. Black hanes. I hane here, again, just asking a question. And then extend. And then I fix my shape. Again, this is where's black's closest allies. They're down here. So as long as I'm keeping black from going there, that's all that matters. And here, you'll see black cuts, Atari, and cuts. And so this looks very bad for white. If white connects, black connects here, and both groups are cut off, but of course white has no eyes, black has one, so white's going to be in trouble. But I really think, well, maybe not. It's a little too aggressive. I would just connect here. Kind of threatening that, right? This is the key move that kind of killed white. So let's say white fixes. Now you're alive, just like that. Just like that. And white's technically not alive yet either. Maybe black felt like he had to gain something from the right side again, but you'll see, even though black takes the upper side, I get this double Atari. So he gains a lot on the upper side, but look at that center group. This center group is completely cut off, completely surrounded, and again, with this stone at M3, even though it's captured, it's still on the board, so it has Aji. So black tries to run, but of course I can just kind of divide and conquer. As long as I keep him separated, there's nothing he can do. Atari, he pulls back. Atari, right? This is where playing this way early on, just creating that Aji and then just leaving it is such a good idea. He has to take, and now I can wedge. And now look, 2 cuts. Black cannot protect both. Atari. And so he's struggling to make life on the right side. But look what I'm gaining. I'm gaining so much on the bottom. I'm practically killing the bottom side. It's basically dead. I'm killing the bottom right, and now black's still not alive on the right side. Now it is important to mention, remember, black did gain up here. So white really needs to make up that on the bottom, and I think white is. Because white didn't have many points up here to begin with. Like, white wasn't going to get a lot of points on the top. But, of course, black had 3rd, 4th line territory here. So it's black's losing a lot. And then I just take the corner. Take the last corner. Get even more points. Atari. And then make a ko. Make a ko shape. I can make the ko shape because I know that is sente. Atari. Yeah, I don't get this. I don't understand this move. I think this is just bad reading. Because he can capture, but like that's a false eye still. Like this, like him capturing is just still a false eye, so it's not that important. And it allows me, after I go here, this taking the ko is now an Atari, which is huge. Alright, descend to prevent him from. Well, it is a very expensive ko for black. I didn't want to see this ko. So I just descend, even though that ko exists. So he takes hane. He plays there. I take Atari, and then play there, and then he takes the corner, but this entire center dies. Entire center is dead. Once again, because of white's very good shape at the bottom, black is just unable to. I guess he does live, but it's very small. And even at this point, like, I'm pretty confident I was alive on the left, but I was like, well, I know if I just since I killed the center, I win, so I just played a safety move. And yeah, we play a few more moves. Make the seki on the bottom, because making the seki is sente, because he has to play there. And then play there, and he resigns. So even though I sacrificed the top, I was able to surround the center. You can see for at least ever since black connected here, white's goal was very clear. It was to attack the center. Everything white was doing for at least, what does it move, 214? So at least for like 150 moves, white was eyeing the center. But it wasn't like white wasn't just going straight up to black to, making it very obvious, like, oh, I'm attacking you. White was attacking from afar, and that's what's important. White was creating Aji on the bottom. White was pressuring on the top just to surround the center. And I'll admit, this is a very big kill, and you don't always get that though, right? You don't always get kind of that sweet giant dragon kill. But when it does work out, and it did in this game, it's very satisfying, especially after a very lackluster, boring first game. This was definitely a nice game for me to come back with. Yeah, overall, I'm happy with this game. It's, of course, things I missed when I was reviewing, but that's going to happen in every game, so can't be too mad about that. Yeah, very exciting game, though. Black put up a pretty good fight. But yeah, if you have any questions about this game, please leave them in the comment section. I'll be sure to read them. Yeah, look forward to the third round game coming out shortly. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.